you value the opportunity to interview enough to review in the last few seconds you have before you get in there because that's how important it is to you? Or are you on your phone checking scores or whatever? What is going on, guys? I hope you are having a fantastic day, and we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. So if you're new to the channel, please drop a like and a sub. That would be greatly appreciated. We're going to be talking tips and tricks for your next interview before, during, and after to help you land that job that you want so bad. These aren't going to be your run-of-the-mill, essentially, advice that everybody gives you, like know the company's mission statement. Yes, obviously that is important and you need to do it, but these are going to be things that are psychological, and they are going to essentially set you apart from everyone else that you're interviewing with, because I guarantee you 99% of the people are not going to do some of the things I discuss. So someone from HR has reached out to you and let you know that they are interested in having you for an interview, whether it's via telecom or on-site. On-site is obviously better because there's nothing that beats in-person contact, but I know we're in a COVID environment and you may be watching this video and your job interview is going to be over the camera, and we're going to get into some things that will help you during that as well. Very first thing you want to do is ask them who you are going to be interviewing with if they have not already told you. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look up the person from HR that you had contact with, as well as every other person that you're going to be interviewing with on LinkedIn. Now, why this is important is the HR business partner who contacted you is more than likely going to have a premium LinkedIn account. And why this is important is they can see that you clicked on their account, and this shows them that you are proactive and you want to get involved and understand who you're dealing with at the company. More than likely, whoever you're interviewing with, though, does not have a premium LinkedIn account, so they're going to have no idea that you looked at their profile. So you're going to want to look at their profile, review it, jot down some things that are interesting that you feel you could work into the conversation during an interview, whether it just naturally flows during the conversation or if it's something specific that you can ask a question on at the end of the interview, not only about the company, but you're showing interest in the individual that you interviewed with. This is going to stick out to most people. So let's fast forward and say now you are on site for your interview. Rather than just sitting there waiting for your interviewer to come get you, and you're just wasting time on your phone like we all do, like we're at the doctor's office or we're just waiting for anything. We all have a tendency to pull our phone out. Rather than doing that, take out your resume and a nice booklet or whatever you have. Review that. Even if you're not looking over it, you can just stare a hole right through it for all I care. But when that person comes out, they're going to see what you do with downtime. Are you productive with downtime? Do you value the opportunity to interview enough to review in the last few seconds you have before you get in there because that's how important it is to you? Or are you on your phone checking scores or whatever, right? It says a lot. I guarantee you that is something that's going to stick with them. How much do they care about this opportunity? Now, when the person's coming to get you and you see them, immediately start to read who they are. Get a gauge for their personality. Are they old? They young? Are they male? They female? All these things go into essentially, potentially the personality of who you're going to be dealing with. If somebody who's 55 or 60 is coming out, I know this person's probably pretty old school. They're established, and they're going to want me to be pretty cut and dry and straightforward with them. And only if they really start to open up and be like charismatic and stuff, am I going to kind of mirror their personality. Now, if somebody comes out and they're maybe only 5 years older than me and they're laid back and they're a young professional, I'm going to do the exact same thing with them, right? Cater to whoever you're interviewing with. Gauge their personality and mirror it as much as you can. So if the LinkedIn facts and stuff that you saw are basically relevant, or whenever you're walking to the interview, you can bring up that stuff then. But typically I like to wait to the end of the interview. Once you've gotten all the good stuff out, that's when you can work in the stuff that you found out about the person on LinkedIn. Ask them a question about their previous work history or anything like that. Bring up a fun fact that you saw on their LinkedIn, and that's something that interests you as well. Find any way you can to relate to that person with something that you know nobody else has spotted or thought of. Another thing I want to mention too is if you know anybody at the company, even in a small capacity, always bring that up in the interview. I know so-and-so. Even if they don't know who they are, just the fact that you know somebody who works at the company, and that's a reason why you want to work there because this person speaks so highly of the company, it definitely says a lot during the interview. So now you interviewed and you're on your way home. The very first thing you want to do is not just rip off your clothes and be like, thank God this is over. No, you get on your computer ahead of time. You make sure that you've gotten the person's email addresses that you interviewed with from the HR partner. They will always give it to you. You send every single person a thank you email. Do not make them cookie cutter, right? Tailor each one to the time that you had with the person you interviewed with. Because more than likely they're going to talk to each other, and they're going to talk to each other pretty much immediately after the interview. So that's why it's important to do this as soon as you get home. You don't want to wait a day or even a couple hours. This is immediate because you don't know when they've made up their choice, right? You could have been their last interview of the day and they're going to meet, and then boom, right before they meet, they see a thank you email come across the screen. What this again says is you cared so much about the opportunity to take the time to thank them. It's so rare in our day and age. You'd be shocked at how many times I've gotten a job and the person who hired me said, one of the key reasons why we hired you is because of this thank you letter. It's never been done before. The amount of times I've heard that is mind-boggling. And to me, it seems so simple, but it goes so far in the psychology of just liking the person you interviewed with or the person you interviewed. It goes light years. So guys, I know most of those things were essentially if you were in an in-person interview and kind of a non-COVID environment. So I did want to touch on one thing you could do if your interview is over a webcam. You need to obviously check ahead of time that your audio and everything sounds good. Skype, FaceTime, do whatever it is with a friend beforehand to make sure everything looks good. No clutter, nothing behind you. I know that TV's up there, but I have a little helmet up there with the Atlanta Braves on, right? Find anything you can to put in your background that looks semi-professional but could start up a conversation. At the end of the interview, they say, "Oh, okay, you like baseball? I like baseball too." And then boom, you immediately have something that you've now related with the person you are interviewing. So things like that, any way you can be personable yet still professional is extremely important. So guys, I hope you liked that video. It's a little bit of a different flavor, but it's still super important. I think obviously there's a bunch of people unemployed, so I don't know where you are. Hopefully this helps you out. If it does, please drop a like and a sub. That would be super appreciated. And before we go, today in history, August 10th, 1960, NASA launches Discoverer 13 satellite, and it would eventually become the first object ever recovered from orbit. So that is pretty freaking amazing. I will see you guys tomorrow.